as a school head sa UNIM, I will support the systematic and transparent procedures and protocols in accomplishing M&E in our school. I plan to model and promote
mga activities po niya ay to promote yung self-awareness and identity formation, maging resilient at magkaroon ng growth mindset building. Ang mga bata ay maturuan ng goal setting and aspiration mapping. Magkaroon sila ng confidence sa sarili within communication and values formation. So ito po yung aming mga objectives. Magla-launch ng project launch orientation. The key indicators is 60% of stakeholders are oriented. So yung orienting nila ang learners kasama ang parents. Then the data collection, syempre yung attendance sheets and photo documentation. The timeline is the first week of a month. Once na na-approve po ang aming project. The roles and responsibilities, the project leader and also the grade advisors. So for reporting and feedback mechanism is the activity completion report of that certain project launch orientation and with focus group discussions. And after that, project launch, magkakaroon naman po ng RISE baseline survey wherein magkakaroon po ng survey forms for the data collection and doon din makikita doon sa key indicators how many percent of students ang nakakomplete ng survey. For the timeline, following that project launch, para habang mainit yung issue or medyo matatandaan pa, follow agad ng next week. So ang may roles dito, ang responsible dito na persons is the guidance advocate and also the advisors. The reporting feedback mechanism is the survey results. And then when we already have this baseline data from the survey, so ang key indicators po nito ay number of post engagements. For the data collection is the social media analytics. Meron naman po yan sa atin, sa Facebook and sa Facebook page. Weekly naman po ang posting. So every event na nangyayari positively sa school, we intend to post that. Not to post, hindi para iyabang kung anong meron kami. Bagkus ipagmalaki yung mga kayang simpleng nagagawa na magiging magkakaroon ng positibong outcome. Hindi lang sa paaralan, kundi para sa mga bata. And then, ang responsable po rito is the ICT coordinator and also the journalism club. And then for the reporting and feedback mechanism, titingnan namin or we will look into the social media reactions. Kung may comments ba, at sabi nga sa kasama ko doon, kung walang comments, walang likes, tingnan natin ilang yung naka-view. At kung wala pa rin, doon ulit magkakaroon ng focus group discussions for what went wrong and what went right. Ako'y marami pa siya lang, so lumanan po ulit.
Thank you po. Ano group po kayo, sir? Table 12. Thank you po. So it's RISE program focuses on the mental, emotional, and values formation, no? I believe din na kapag ang mga bata natin, okay, stable pa nilang mental, emotional, at mental discipline, sigurado tataas ang performance nila, lalo-lalo na din sa school natin. So, kaakibat niyan. Thank you po, sir. Next group po, yung, sir, na nag-volunteer po kanina. Thank you po.
Sabi ko naman.
Good morning po. So para po sa Table 7, ang aming po program or project title, project numero, Strengthening Numeracy Skills for Foundational Learning. So sa aming po objectives, so at least 85% of the learners enhance problem solving and logical reasoning, and build learners' confidence in applying numeracy skills in a real-life situation. So some indicators po, so yung average score, problem solving task, and the percentage of learners scoring at or above proficiency in quarterly math assessment. So para po sa data collection and method and tools, so yung qualitative data po, particularly yung observation loads, yung learners feedback, parent interview, and syempre po yung pre- and post-test scorecards. So para po sa timeline, so yung kung dahil yung August po yung syempre yung project orientation, and then po baseline assessment, then November mid assessment po ito, no? And then December, and then January, and yung mga following months po, no, yung continued evaluation po, consolidation, and then March po yung final assessments. Ang rules, doon po sa rules and responsibilities, so yung po project coordinator, who will oversee the M&E and who will compile the report, and the teachers who will conduct assessments and track attendance, and then in school M&E committee will review the progress, recommendation, and adjustment. So magandahan po ito, involve po yung mga parents, no, provide insight or support on learners who practice. And then para po sa reporting and feedback mechanism, yung po monthly progress reports, and then po quarterly review meetings po, and then sa dulo pinang-final po yung final evaluation po. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you po. Anong group po natin? 7. Okay. Thank you sa kanila naman. Project Impact. To check if the program and the project is effective, efficient, relevant, and kung kaya ba nila sustain. Tanggalin na ba natin itong project na ito? May impact ba siya sa mga estudyante natin? Tumaas ba ang performance natin? Tumaba ba ang rank-out rate natin? Kasi kung hindi, pwede natin siyang palitan, alisin, i-innovate, and so on and so forth. So then po, monitoring, regular po yan, either day-to-day, as long as we implement a project. Well, evaluation is a systematic assessment. So pwedeng pre, during, mid, or post to check if effective po yung project and program po. Okay? So, why do we monitor and evaluate? Hindi naman pwedeng basta lang tayo mag-monitor and evaluate kasi gusto po natin. Or parang may gawin tayo as school head. Hindi po, di ba? So, here are the objectives of monitoring and evaluation. Of course, to track implementation progress. Then, provide data for info-making. So, this data, di ba, kapag kasi data-driven ang ating mga decisions, it makes the action very relevant and successful. Hindi yung basta mabigla-bigla lang tayo nag-decide na wala tayong backup na data, di ba? Kaya tayo nag-monitor and evaluate. And of course, to ensure accountability and transparency, kasi po yung results ng kung ano mang project natin na monitor natin, ini-evaluate natin, of course, we share it to our internal and external stakeholders. Identify lessons learned and areas for improvement. Diba? Yun nga kanina natinig natin, may mga adjustments na nagawa kasi nakita natin hindi siya effective or may barriers or may kung ano man. Kaya meron tayong mga on-the-spot adjustments. Okay. So what are the concepts of M&E or any program? Of course, we have the activities, yung mga interventions na yan. Ang daming nabanggit po kanina. Either training sa mga teachers, workshops, lesson delivery, or even sa classroom observation, pipiliin natin yung mga teachers, may lab session, may ganyan. Okay? So activities po yun. Then outputs, alam po natin na, direct results or products, examples, number of trained teachers, na ginamit yung intervention or yung project na ini-implement, ilang modules ang na-develop nila, about sa development of modules, SLM, video lessons, and so on and so forth. Then, pag sinabi natin outcome, short to medium term results. Ginamit ba ni teacher yung ginawa ng video lesson? Tumaas ba yung score ng mga bata with those materials? Diba? Yung mga aral materials ba na gagamitin natin, mag-improve ba yung performance or yung reading skill ng mga bata? So yun yung short to medium term results. Whereas yung impact, pag sinabi po natin impact, syempre long term po yan. Ayan, improved learning outcomes. Yung totality ba, yung school ba, tumaas ang performance niya with those materials or with those trainings na ginawa po natin? Na-reduce ba ang dropout rate? Ayan, baka kasi isa sa reason kaya marami tayong masyadong mga non-decoders or non-readers dahil ayaw pumasok ng mga bata, nahihiyang magbasa. Diba po? So with those interventions, napababa po ba natin yung dropout rate? So makikita yung impact, yung long-term impact after the school year, syempre. So yun po yung difference ng outcome at ng impact. So ina-identify lang po natin itong mga concepts na to kasi mamaya, sa activity nyo po, gagawa po kayo po ang gagawa niya ng input, ng intervention plan nyo, or kung anong project na gusto nyong i-implement. And then of course, you will monitor and evaluate. At kailangan natin ma-identify ano ba yung target, yung outcome, target, yung impact. But, then, ayan, tools and methods, of course, pag-implementation, ito yung during. Ano ba yung mga ginagamit natin during implementation? We have mga monitoring tools, we have progress reports, nabanggit nito kanina ng mag-present, checklist, attendance logs, whereas for evaluation, we have key informant interviews, classroom observations. Then output, of course, pag may nagawang output, survey forms, accomplishment reports, and then sa evaluation, pre-test and post-test, or FGD. And then for outcome, we have school reports and learner portfolios. For evaluation, ang ginagamit natin, comparative performance data. Di ba tayo sa school, meron tayong for school year 2023-2024, tapos yung pinag na rin 2024-2025, ngayon 2025-2026. We will compare, okay? So yun po, and then impact, we use national assessments, tracer studies for evaluation, statistical analysis, impact evaluation, okay? Yan po yung mga tools na gagamitin natin. So ano ba yung mga indicators, ano ba yung mga example po para hindi tayo mahirapan
resulta naman po ng mga bata, okay, doon po sa kanilang anong learning area?
Mathematics.
Okay? So, yung in-address po nila doon, magkakaroon ng intervention, siguro po, FGD yon para po doon sa kanilang mga teachers. Pwede po ba dito sa table? Ayan si Sir. Sige po, Sir. Kung pwede po, kung meron pa yung mga hinbanggit. Sige po.
Ay, sige po. Doon hindi nabanggit. Nabanggit po ba na nung nag-conduct sila ng math imitation program, they gain an improvement of 65%. So, because the intervention made by the school seems effective and impactful, they decided to make a support to continue those programs to achieve and increase the lowest achievement rate of grade 8 in math. And that is why they conducted several activities like focus group to become at least in the high provincial chain level. Yun lang po.
Bakit nyo, Sir, nasabi na yung ginawa nilang intervention is already impactful?
Because according to the data, the computational skill ability of the learners increased from, I think, 50% to 65%. So meaning to say, the intervention program done by the school is effective, but although it is 65%, it is then very low to the 75% target of the school. So that is why they need to have some support, like doing some focus group discussion, gamification, tutoring, and other related activities that will contribute to the achievement of the target of the principal.
Very good. As a school head po ba, pag kayo ay kumukuha ng mga datos sa inyong mga teachers, pag ang nakuha po ninyo, kunwari 65, magandang datos na po ba yun?
Hindi po.
Usapang totoo.
Hindi po.
Minsan talagang sumasagot po ng 50, 40, nakakalungkot din po ba? Sige.
Actually, impactful yung sinasabi ni Sir sa kabilang table, no? From the 65 years old, nag-improvement in the computational skills. But then, I want to go back to the resource or data achievement test. Kasi meron pong 4 na skills na naiwan yung bata, no, based doon sa analysis po. The problem solving, the computational skills, the multi-step, and real-life application. So, yung ginawa pong remediation, although maganda na po yung 65% result, pero iwan pa rin po yung 3 na skills doon sa analysis from prediction achievement test. So, output, isa lang po na-achieve noong mathematics teachers. So, sa amin po, no, at ito, no, hindi pa rin siya po, natin,